Do you remember the eerie chill of the Frog Prince? A golden ball lost in a dark well, a talking frog demanding more than any creature should? Not gold, not glory, but a place at the table, a share of a princess's bed. We thought it a simple tale, a child's story of magic and marriage. But what if it's older than the rivers, older than the first songs, a 4,000-year-old secret woven into humanity's dreams? As a storyteller weathered by life's seasons, I've learned that fairy tales are more than whimsy. They're echoes of our ancestors' fears and hopes. Today I invite you to step with me to the edge of a sacred well, where the veil between worlds thins, and a frog's croak hides a cosmic truth. The Frog Prince is no mere story, it's a ritual, a pact between mortal and divine, a riddle of transformation and sacrifice. Why does a well mark the threshold? Why does a frog demand such intimacy? Are you ready to dive into the shadows of history to uncover a truth that will reshape this tale forever? Join me, and let's unravel the mystery beneath the water's surface. Step back, as we do in life's wiser years, to a kingdom where wishes still held power. A king's youngest daughter, so radiant the sun paused to admire her, loved to wander into a great forest. Beneath an ancient linden tree stood a deep, silent well, its waters dark as secrets. There she played with her golden ball, tossing it high, catching it in her delicate hands. But one day, it slipped, plunging into the well's abyss. Her sobs echoed through the trees, her heart breaking for her lost treasure. Then a voice croaked, low and strange, "What troubles you, princess?" She looked down to see a frog, green, glistening, its wide mouth curling like a sly smile. "I'll fetch your ball," it said, "but you must promise me something." Desperate, she offered jewels, her crown, anything. The frog shook its head. "I want to sit at your table, eat from your plate, drink from your cup, sleep in your bed." Shocked but frantic, she agreed, thinking she could outwit the creature. The frog dove into the well, returning with the golden ball in its mouth. She seized it and fled, laughing at her cleverness. But that night, a knock echoed at the palace door. "Princess," croaked the frog, "youngest daughter, keep your promise." Terrified, she confessed to her father. The king, stern and just, declared, "A promise made must be kept." The frog entered, sitting beside her, eating from her plate, drinking from her cup. When it demanded her bed, she wept, repulsed by its cold, damp skin. "You must honor your word," her father insisted. Trembling, she carried the frog upstairs, holding it like a vile thing, setting it in a corner. But it crept toward her bed, croaking, "I'm tired too. Lift me up, or I'll tell your father." Her temper flared. She seized the frog and hurled it against the wall with all her might. "Be gone, you wretched creature!" she cried. But in that instant, the air shimmered. The frog's green skin dissolved into warm flesh. Its bulging eyes turned human and bright. A prince stood before her, handsome, kind, freed from a witch's curse by her rage. They married the next day, their bond sealed by a broken promise and a violent act. But why does this tale hinge on a well, a frog, and such a strange bargain? Let's dive deeper. Picture yourself by a Bronze Age well, 4,000 years ago, on the misty edges of Europe's forests. Tribes gather under a starlit sky, their voices weaving tales of a girl and a frog who speaks, a bargain struck at the world's edge. This isn't myth, it's truth, unearthed by modern science. In 2016, researchers at Lisbon University turned folklore into fossils using phylogenetic analysis, borrowed from evolutionary biology, to trace 2,000 tales across cultures. They built a shimmering tree of stories, its branches stretching from India to Ireland. Their discovery? The Frog Prince is a branch of the animal as bridegroom archetype, ATU 425, born around 2000 BCE in Proto-Indo-European society. As tribes migrated carrying bronze tools and tales, They told of a girl meeting a creature at a sacred well, her promise leading to transformation. This tale, older than Beauty and the Beast, survived empires and plagues because it speaks to primal fears, the unknown, the cost of aid, the power of a vow. Variants echo across cultures, Slavic Vodnik tales of green-skinned water spirits seeking brides, Scottish Well at the World's End, where a frog saves a dying mother for a marriage vow, Indian Naga stories of serpent princes wedding mortals. Why a well? In ancient Europe, wells weren't just water sources, they were thresholds to the underworld, guarded by spirits. At sites like Hincig Bark in Wales, archaeologists found offerings, swords, jewels, even bones, cast into sacred waters as gifts to deities below. Frogs, too, were sacred, symbols of fertility and rebirth in Egyptian, Celtic, and Slavic lore. The frog's demand for intimacy mirrors ancient rituals, where mortals joined with divine beings to gain knowledge or favor. In the Book of Enoch, divine watchers taught humans forbidden arts, demanding steep prices. Could the frog be their echo, a guardian of sacred waters, offering miracles for a cost? But why does violence, throwing, beheading, break the spell? In Sumerian tales, gods demanded blood to seal pacts. In Celtic lore, druids offered sacrifices at wells to appease spirits. The frog's transformation suggests a deeper truth. Creation often follows destruction. This tale's roots run deep, to a time when humans believed power came from merging with the otherworldly. Let's dive into the myths that shape this story. Dive deeper into the waters of myth. The well isn't just a place, it's a threshold where worlds meet. In Norse lore, the Well of Urd lies at Yggdrasil's roots, where Norns weave fates in shimmering water. In Celtic tales, sacred springs were gateways to the otherworld, guarded by spirits who demanded vows. In ancient Egypt, the frog-headed goddess Heket presided over childbirth and resurrection, her croak heralding the Nile's flood. The well in the Frog Prince is no ordinary pool, it's a cosmic boundary where mortals meet the divine. The frog's strange bargain echoes ancient rituals. In Slavic folklore, Vodnik spirits, green, web-fingered, lured women to watery palaces, offering miracles for marriage. In Hindu myth, Naga serpent princes, divine yet beastly, wed mortals to bind heaven and earth. In Greek mystery cults, Dionysus took animal forms, bull, serpent, to join with followers in ecstatic union. These weren't mere stories, they were rites. In Mesopotamia, the sacred marriage of Inanna and Dumuzi saw a king lie with a priestess to renew the land's fertility. But Dumuzi's union ended in death, dragged to the underworld to ensure life's cycle. Why violence in the Frog Prince? The princess's act, hurling the frog, mirrors ancient sacrifices. In Babylonian myth, Marduk slays Tiamat, a sea serpent goddess, splitting her to form the world, sky from her ribs, rivers from her eyes. Creation demanded destruction. In Irish kingship rites, a candidate married a mare, then slaughtered it, bathing in its broth to claim power. In Celtic lore, druids cast offerings into wells, sometimes blood, to appease spirits. The frog's transformation, sparked by violence, reflects this. A sacred union followed by a sacrificial act births something new, a prince, a world, a legacy. This pattern, the animal as bridegroom, ATU 425, is over 4,000 years old, per Lisbon's 2016 study. It appears in Beauty and the Beast, India's Snake Prince, and Arctic tales of women wedding bears, birthing hybrid children who taught humanity fire and art. In the Bible, the sons of God wed mortal women, spawning Nephilim, heroes born of divine union. The frog's demand for intimacy, his violent end, isn't cruelty, it's a ritual of creation, where mortal and divine merge, and sacrifice unlocks transformation. Could the frog be a forgotten god, a spirit of the well, testing the princess to birth a new order? The answer ripples through time, shaking the foundations of our oldest myths. As the well's ripples fade, let's pause, as we do in life's quieter moments, to reflect on the Frog Prince's enduring truth. This tale is a parable of transformation, facing the unknown, striking a bargain, and finding creation through sacrifice. The well symbolizes a threshold where our ancestors met the divine, offering vows for miracles. The frog, a creature of water and earth, embodies rebirth, its violent end a spark for new beginnings, echoing Bronze Age rites where blood birthed progress. The princess's rage mirrors humanity's struggle with the other, fearful yet drawn to what lies beyond. In ancient myths, unions with beasts or gods, Naga, Dionysus, Arctic bears, brought knowledge, fire, art, survival. Oxford research ties this tale to Indo-European rituals where shamans chanted to merge with spirits, gaining wisdom at a cost. The frog's bargain, his transformation, reflects this. To grow, we must face the monstrous and break it, even if it's within us. Today we stand at new thresholds, digital realms, ambitions, identities. What frogs do we face? What bargains do we strike? In our wiser years, the Frog Prince asks, what fears must we confront to transform? In psychology, Jung saw such tales as archetypes, where facing the shadow, our fears, sparks growth. Our modern wells might be choices, risks, or truths we hesitate to embrace. Yet, like the princess, our courage, even in anger, can birth something new, a better self, a stronger legacy. This tale whispers across millennia, transformation demands sacrifice, but it's through facing the unknown that we create. In our lives, what promises do we keep? What fears do we hurl against the wall? The frog's lesson endures. Embrace the strange and find the prince within. Across 4,000 years, the Frog Prince ripples with truth. Bargains with the unknown shape our fate. In our wiser years, this tale urges us to face our fears, to embrace the strange, and transform through courage. What fairy tales stirred your childhood nights? Do you see the frog's shadow in your own choices, promises kept, fears confronted? Share your favorite folklore below, like if this rekindled old memories, and subscribe for more ancient secrets unveiled. Curious about another tale's depths? Click here to unravel Rumpelstiltskin's 4,000-year-old mystery of names and power. Thank you for diving into this well with me, dear friend. Now, step to your own threshold, face the unknown, and weave your legacy.